Valeria puts one foot on the cart and addresses the suitors. You must lift this boulder and carry it across the courtyard. Any who cannot may retire with dignity. A burly knight named Heir Reginald steps forward, cracks his knuckles, and attempts the task. He barely manages to budge it before collapsing in a heap. The crowd gasps. Valeria, hoisting the boulder effortlessly onto her shoulder. Like this. She walks the length of the courtyard, drops it with a thud, and raises an eyebrow. Next. More suitors step forward, fewer succeed. A few faint outright. One pretends to tie his shoe and scuttles away. Trial 2. Wisdom. The queen steps forward now, serene but sharp-eyed. She presents a riddle written in golden script. Queen Seraphina. I am always hungry, I must always be fed. The finger I touch will soon turn red. What am I? A moment of silence. Then, a thin man in scholar's robes, Lord Theshan, steps forward, smiling. Lord Theshan. The answer is fire, your grace. Queen Seraphina smiles. Well answered. You may proceed to the final trial. Trial 3. Valor. The gates creak open, revealing a forest trail leading to the mountains beyond. King Aldrich. A beast has taken roost in the caverns of Varnock. Slay it, or return with proof of your bravery. Valeria grins. Or you could ride with me. But know this any cowardice, and I leave you behind. She swings up onto a midnight black steed, sword gleaming in the sun. Lord Theshan hesitates only briefly before mounting a horse of his own. Lord Theshan. I may not swing a sword, but I can light a path and speak 10 languages of dragons. I'll be of use. Valeria laughs heartily. Then let's ride. The crowd erupts in cheers as the unlikely pair gallops off toward the mountains. Behind them, the rest of the suitors disperse, muttering excuses. The queen exchanges a knowing smile with the king. Queen Seraphina. I rather like him. He has more spine than the rest. King Aldrich. Let's see if he still has it when he's facing a wyvern. Theshan. Adjusting his glasses. So, this beast, what exactly are we dealing with? I'd prefer not to die uninformed. Valeria. Grinning. Reports say it's a wyvern. Winged. Poisonous. Breathes fire. Likes to perch on cliff faces and eat livestock, or unprepared travelers. Theshan. Face pale. Excellent. Lovely. Just the sort of creature I hoped to not meet today. Valeria. Laughing. If it helps, I've wanted to fight something like this since I was 12. A sudden rustling interrupts the banter. The horses whinny nervously. Theshan. Whispering. Did you hear that? Valeria. Dismounts, drawing her sword. Stay behind me. A shadow slinks between the trees low to the ground. Suddenly, a forest troll bursts from the underbrush, roaring. Theshan stumbles back, muttering incantations. Nox Ferrum. A blast of light strikes the troll in the eyes. It howls and staggers, just as Valeria charges, sword flashing in a brilliant arc. Valeria. Shouting. For glory. With a powerful leap, she lands a clean strike. The troll crashes to the ground with a bone-rattling thud. Valeria. Breathing hard, turns to Theshan. Not bad, wizard. Theshan. Nods, wide-eyed. Not bad, warrior. Valeria. Squinting at claw marks along the rock. This is it. Theshan. Looking into the dark. Give me a moment. He pulls a small crystal from his satchel, whispers a word, and it glows with soft blue light. Valeria. Walking forward. Stay close. It'll smell you before it sees you. A low growl echoes from within the cave. Then, 2 glowing eyes open in the darkness. The wyvern emerges, its wings unfolding like sails, fangs gleaming. Wyvern. Voice like grinding stone. Another fool come to die. Valeria. Steps forward, undaunted. Not a fool. A princess. And this cave isn't big enough for both of us. Herald. Hurriedly rescanning his scroll, voice cracking. On to the second trial, the trial of wisdom. A robed sage steps forward, holding an ornate staff and an aged scroll. The suitors may have dwindled, but the crowd has doubled in size, drawn by the drama. Sage Malther, turning to Prince Leon and Valeria. One question. One answer. Speak true and advance. Fail, and your path ends. A king without a crown, a man without a face, a voice without a sound, what am I? The crowd leans in. Valeria folds her arms, thoughtful. Prince Leon narrows his eyes. Prince Leon steps forward confidently. A shadow. A beat of silence. The sage's eyes twinkle. Sage Malther, smiling. Correct. The crowd erupts into applause. Valeria glances at Leon, impressed. Valeria. Riley. All right, clever prince. You've earned your place in the final trial. Harold. Triumphantly. And now the trial of valor. King Aldrich. Standing tall. Beyond the whispering hills lies the tomb of thorns. A curse stirs there a guardian none have defeated. Retrieve the obsidian rose from its heart, and prove your courage. Prince Leon bows respectfully. Then I shall leave at once. If the princess will accompany me? Valeria, strapping her sword to her back. Wouldn't miss it. I've always wanted to see if that guardian was as terrifying as the stories say. Mists curl around ancient stones. The wind carries faint whispers, unsettling and unintelligible. Leon, quietly. They say the whispers are the voices of fallen challengers. Valeria, shrugging. Then let's make sure they don't add ours to the choir. They enter the tomb, a crumbled ruin with thorn-covered pillars and glowing glyphs. In the center, atop a black pedestal, sits the obsidian rose, pulsing with faint light. Leon, studying the walls. These carvings, they're warnings. He who plucks the rose shall bleed from truth denied. Valeria, approaching cautiously. And what does that mean? The ground trembles. Thorns erupt from the walls. A thorn warden, tall and gaunt with a face like cracked bark, steps from the shadows. Its voice is jagged and dry. Thorn warden, truth or torment? Speak your greatest lie, or face your greatest fear. The room darkens. The air thickens. Valeria, stepping forward. Fine. Here's my lie. I don't care what people think of me. The warden hisses. A vision flashes Valeria alone in a war camp, suitors mocking her behind her back, commanders doubting her. She grits her teeth and stands firm. Valeria punches through the illusion. But I do care, and I still stand proud. Thorn warden, turning to Leon. And you, Prince of Peace? Leon, quietly. My greatest lie. Pauses. Is that I've never been afraid. Suddenly, a younger version of Leon appears trapped beneath rubble, crying as fire rages around. He trembles, but reaches out, touching the illusion. Leon, but I survived. And fear taught me to be careful, not cowardly. The warden fades. The thorns retract. The rose is theirs. Valeria steps up, plucks the rose. I'm impressed, Leon. Most men never admit fear. Or feelings. Leon, smiling. Well, most men aren't trying to win your hand. Harold, triumphantly. Prince Leon of Illyria has completed all trials. Strength, wisdom, and valor have been proven. Queen Seraphina, to Valeria, softly. Well, daughter, what does your heart say? Valeria, glancing at Leon, then to the people. Let it be known I choose not a man to rule over me, but a partner to stand with me. Beat. And this one has proven worthy. The crowd erupts in celebration. Trumpets blare. Leon looks to Valeria, smiling. Leon, so, shall we rule the kingdoms? Valeria, smiling. Right after breakfast. And maybe an arm wrestling match. Valeria, squinting at the scroll. When moonlight meets ink and silence is heard, the truth shall appear in the word unblurred. She tilts her head. That's either profound or deliberately frustrating. Leon, chuckling, pacing thoughtfully. Magic puzzles love to be cryptic. It's like they feed on our confusion. He glances over at her, watching the way she concentrates. Leon, You could have any man in the kingdom. Yet the court whispers that no one wants to marry you. Valeria looks up, a tired expression crossing her face. They want a delicate flower, not a woman who can wield a sword better than them. She returns her gaze to the scroll. They want to tame, not stand beside a queen. Leon, stepping closer, voice quieter. Perhaps they fear what they cannot match. Pauses. But strength, in any form, is admirable. Especially when it walks with grace, not ego. Valeria looks at him, then really looks at him. The usual steel in her eyes softens, just slightly. A small, genuine smile forms. Valeria, you're either very brave, or very good at flattery. Leon, lightly. Why not both? They share a brief laugh. Then Valeria's eyes catch something. Valeria. Wait, moonlight. The stained glass. It's filtering the light. She grabs a mirror from a nearby shelf and adjusts it to reflect the moonlight coming through a crescent-shaped window onto the scroll. The runes shimmer. Letters rearrange themselves into a readable passage. Leon, read aloud. Speak the word you fear most, and the door shall open. A silence falls. The wall to their right pulses faintly, clearly enchanted. Valeria, quietly. The word I fear most. Leon, still but supportive. It doesn't have to be out loud, only true. She steps forward, breathes deeply, then whispers a single word. The wall glows bright blue, and slowly creaks open, revealing a hidden chamber lined with glowing crystal books. Leon, softly. What did you say? Valeria, quietly, not quite meeting his gaze. Alone. Leon doesn't speak, just steps beside her, offering silent company. After a moment, she glances at him. Valeria, you didn't ask what you fear most. Leon smiles faintly. I didn't have to. I think I'm looking at it. Valeria raises an eyebrow. Leon, playfully. A fierce, sword-wielding woman with high standards. Terrifying. She laughs, a warm, low sound that echoes in the crystal chamber. Valeria, then let's keep walking, brave prince. Leon, you missed this one. Tactics of the silent blade. It's where I learned how you'd predict a strike before it happens. Valeria turns, brow raised in surprise. Valeria, you were studying me? Leon smiles. Only the parts you let the world see. A pause. There's a shift, no longer warrior and observer, but something more, balanced. Valeria, then you must know I don't trust easily. Leon, I'm not asking for trust. Only time. Queen Seraphina. Standing. Let it be known the heir may choose her path. Not by tradition. Not by expectation. But by her own wisdom. Valeria's eyes scan the room. She sees warriors, nobles, and Leon quiet in the back, not vying for attention, but present all the same. Valeria, then I choose this, not a husband to command me, nor a subject to follow me, but an equal one who knows my mind as well as he respects my strength. Everyone watched me today, Valeria said softly, eyes on the darkened landscape, like I was something to be claimed. As if victory made me more valuable. They saw strength, Leon replied. But only a few saw clarity. Purpose. You didn't fight to win. You fought to prove. She turned to him, her eyes sharp even in the pale light. And you? What do you see? Someone who's not afraid to walk alone, he said, but doesn't have to anymore. Before Valeria could respond, her gaze flicked to the horizon. A flicker orange and rising fast. Fire. She stepped forward, tense. The western forest. That's no signal fire. It's an attack. Within the hour, the war chamber was alive with tension. Commanders barked reports. Nobles whispered among themselves. The queen stood tall, her expression unreadable. The king's brow was furrowed, his hands clasped behind his back. Scouts confirm raiders, a grizzled general announced. No crest. Black flags. Coordinated. This wasn't random. Leon stepped forward, placing a marked parchment on the table. Trade routes near the western border have shifted. Increased coin flow. Someone has been funding this, quietly. King Aldrich frowned. A hidden enemy within our own lands? Or someone within this very room, Valeria added, scanning the faces around her. Whispers grew louder. Accusation hung in the air like smoke. Queen Seraphina's voice cut through the noise. If war is upon us, let no mask remain. From this moment, the court stands bare. Later, in the stillness of the royal gardens, Valeria trained alone, her blades glinting under the moon. Leon watched her from a short distance before stepping closer. You don't trust easily, he said. They smile with their mouths and scheme with their eyes. She paused, then turned to face him. But you, I trust. And that terrifies me more than any sword ever has. Leon reached out, his voice calm. Then let's face the fear together. Their hands met not out of desperation, but understanding. No grand confessions. Just quiet resolve. Elsewhere, deep within the castle's bones, shadows moved. A cloaked figure met with masked nobles behind a stone door hidden by ivy and thyme. The girl must not take the crown, the figure whispered. Distract her with affection. Break her with betrayal. And when the kingdom looks away, we strike. In the great hall, the queen raised a goblet. To a new age, Seraphina declared. May our kingdom be shaped not by tradition alone, but by courage and by choice. The king, usually reserved, allowed a smile to break across his face. And may the crown never dim the fire in her spirit. Servants wheeled out feasts, musicians played, and laughter filled the high-vaulted halls. But even as the celebration rose, Valeria felt it a shadow behind the joy. A weight in the air. She leaned toward Leon. Something's not right, she murmured. He nodded slightly, gaze sharp despite the wine. I feel it too. The court is smiling, but too tightly. Later, when the hall had thinned and revelers wandered off to their chambers, Leon slipped away into the archives beneath the palace. His torch-lit rows of dusty scrolls and sealed records. There, hidden behind a false ledger, he found it, an old treaty. Unbroken. Forgotten by most. It was a quiet pact between the crown and a long-banished noble family one, whose crest matched the symbol etched into the blade of the raiders who attacked the western woods. He took the parchment and turned quickly only to find Valeria already waiting in the doorway. I had a feeling, she said. Show me what you found. He handed it over. She read it in silence, jaw tightening. They were promised land, power, a throne of their own if ever the crown fell into uncertainty. And now, Leon added, they think that time has come. Valeria folded the parchment, eyes burning with resolve. Then let them come. Let them try to take what they never earned. Leon smiled. Shall we plan our counterstrike, partner? Valeria returned his grin. Let's. Leon moved silently beside her, placing small markers across the map. They're gathering in the lowlands, near the old river fort, he said. A smart position, easy to defend, hard to assault. We won't assault, Valeria replied. We'll expose them, discredit them. If we fight this as monarchs, we lose. We need to fight it as them. In a fishing village near the edge of the kingdom, a boy approached Valeria, wide-eyed. You're her, he whispered. The princess with the sword. Valeria knelt, smiling gently. I'm just someone who wants to protect this place. But the men in black flags said you'd become a tyrant. That you'd silence the old ways. Leon stepped in, crouching beside them. And did they offer food? Protection? A better future? The boy shook his head. Just stories. And swords. Valeria's expression hardened. Then we'll offer the truth. One night, in the deepest hour, Leon was summoned to the royal archives. A cloaked figure waited an informant from within the rebel camp. They call themselves the Ash Pact, the man said, eyes darting. They believe your unity with the princess will destroy the bloodline traditions. They want the throne divided, not reformed. Leon stepped closer. Who leads them? A pause. Then, softly, a name lost in exile. Lady Merlin. Sister to the king. Leon's blood ran cold. That's impossible. She died in the Northern Rebellion. She survived, the man whispered. And she's coming home. She's not just a traitor, Valeria said. She's royalty, which means she knows how the game is played. Leon nodded. And how to break the board entirely. They stood in silence, the wind stirring the trees. What if we can't win this with truth alone? Valeria asked. Then we win it with truth and fire, Leon said. Together.